Kia Rio is a competent supermini which performs reasonably well in every area. However, against class-leading rivals such as the Nissan Micra, Volkswagen Polo and even the outgoing Ford Fiesta, the Rio struggles to stand out. It doesn't have the sense of fun seen in the Micra, the quality and ride comfort of the Polo or the drive of the Fiesta, plus it's not priced low enough to make up for any of these shortfalls. However, for many drivers its long warranty, good equipment levels and useful practicality mean it will serve the purpose of getting from A to B perfectly well. Good levels of standard equipment. One of the Rio's strongest suits is the level of standard kit on all trim levels. Even base Spec 1 cars benefit from luxuries such as Bluetooth phone connectivity, aircon and hill start assist. The only real disappointment is that the advanced safety features, including autonomous emergency braking, aren't standard across the entire range, potentially harming Euro NCAP safety scores for lower spec cars. Mixed bag of engines and gearboxes. Unlike the Kia's easy-to-understand trim levels, the range of engines is significantly more confusing. There's a choice of 4 petrols and 2 diesels, many of which have been largely carried over from the previous generation Rio. The pick of the bunch is the 100 horsepower 1.0-litre petrol, but even then it's not class-leading thanks to dim-witted responses and a harsh top end of the rev range. 7-year warranty. As with all Kias, the Rio benefits from a 7-year or 100,000 mile, whichever comes first, warranty, which is transferable between owners. This is the only area where the Rio really stands out from its rivals, yet should ensure excellent all-round reliability. To find out more, continue reading the full Kia Rio review by heading to the driving section. Wide selection of petrol and diesel motors available. Lower output 1.0-litre petrol. The pick of the range. Choice of 5 or 6-speed manuals plus a 4-speed auto. The Kia Rio range features 6 engines, 3 petrols and 2 diesels, plus 3 different gearboxes, a 5 or 6-speed manual and a 4-speed automatic. Petrol power. The most popular configuration in the UK is expected to be the 84 horsepower 1.25-litre 4-cylinder engine with the 5-speed manual gearbox. It's fine for driving around town, yet for motorways runs one of the punchier engines in the range would be advisable. Next up is a pair of 1.0-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged motors with a power output of 100 horsepower and 120 horsepower. Both sound pleasingly sporty, pull well through the gears and provide ample levels of torque for a car of this size. Overtaking isn't a problem either thanks to a generous spread of power across the higher revs of each gear. The downside is that both engines are slow to react at low revs, which makes nipping in and out of city traffic a difficult task. Customers might be tempted by the extra 20 horsepower of the more powerful 1.0-litre, but we'd stick with the 100 horsepower version. It feels just as punchy in the real world. There's only half a second in the 0 to 60 miles per hour times, and, for us, is the best engine in the range. The only detractor is that it's limited to a 5-speed manual gearbox, unlike the 120 horsepower version which comes with a 6-speed transmission. The largest petrol in the on-offer is the 99 horsepower 1.4-litre 4-cylinder. It comes with the added benefit of being the only engine available with a choice of gearboxes, either a 6-speed manual or a 4-speed auto. Bear in mind though that opting for the latter will increase the 0 to 60 miles per hour time from 11.8 seconds to 13.4. There's also a considerable efficiency penalty that we've detailed in the green credentials section. Diesel engines. Customers after a diesel-powered Rio have the option of a 77 horsepower or a 90 horsepower 1.4-litre engine, both fitted with 6-speed manual gearboxes as standard. Each engine offers an identical 214 Nm of torque, allowing the Rio to pull well at low to medium speeds. However, once up to 70 miles per hour, even the higher output 90 horsepower version begins to struggle. Overtaking requires a change down into 4th gear and the engine needs to be worked to get any real increase in speed. For this reason, drivers who spend a lot of time on motorways would be better served by one of the more powerful petrol models. Safe and predictable but far from exciting, provides adequate grip and composure. Safe and stable is the name of the game when it comes to the Rio's handling. Grip and composure through corners is adequate, yet the car never feels agile enough to give any driver enjoyment. One of the biggest problems is the lack of feel and sensitivity in the steering, especially around the straight ahead position. Move the steering wheel a few degrees to the left or right and there's little to suggest the front wheels have responded accordingly. It's certainly not dangerous or off-putting, yet takes away any kind of precision in the steering. This is fine at high speed, but superminis such as the Ford Fiesta have shown that agile handling needn't come at the expense of instability or overly twitchy steering. Move past this issue and the Rio has nicely weighted steering and a firm, but not overly so, chassis setup, allowing it to tackle potentially hazardous mid-corner bumps with ease. The turning circle is good enough for city driving and the overall footprint of the car feels compact from the driver's seat. Easy to get comfortable thanks to wide range of adjustment, slick manual gearboxes and an impressive infotainment system. Not particularly exciting or interesting, however this is one of Kia Rio's better areas thanks to a good range of adjustability in the driving position, an impressive infotainment system and easy to use controls. It's not particularly interesting or inspiring, yet the overall functionality is excellent and there's little in the way of cheap feeling plastics. Unlike many superminis, the Rio offers a comprehensive level of reach adjustment in the steering wheel to suit drivers of all sizes. Couple this with some comfy and supportive seats and it's easy to get settled in the Rio. All the switchgear, although not especially premium feeling, has a pleasant weightiness to its actions while all the buttons are easy to locate and clearly labeled. The manual gearboxes also offer a smooth and consistent action, never feeling notchy or unpleasant. The touchscreen infotainment system is fast and easy to operate. Scrolling through phone contacts or radio stations is done particularly well and works just like a premium iPhone. The only real letdown is the digital display in between the dials. It's clear enough, but the black and white color scheme feels old-fashioned compared to brighter offerings in the Rio's rivals. Plus, like many other Kias, there's nothing to indicate what speed the cruise control is preset to. Respectable ride quality and refinement levels in petrol Rio's noisy diesel engines spoiled the party. However, avoid larger 17-inch wheels found on first edition models. The Kia Rio boasts reasonable comfort and refinement levels thanks to supportive seats and a competent ride quality. In particular, the 1.0-liter petrol engines are hushed and unobtrusive at cruising speeds, only sounding harsh and unpleasant if they're revved hard. Cars fitted with the 1.4-liter diesel unit are less impressive, however, with the loud thrum making its way into the cabin under even light acceleration. Smooth ride quality takes the edge off sharp bumps impressively, yet is prone to jiggling around on all but the flatter strode surfaces. It's not jarring for the passengers, yet does mean the Rio lags behind the class leaders in this area. For the best comfort, avoid the 17-inch alloys on the first edition model and stick with the 15 and 16-inch wheels of the lower trim levels. Extensive range of standard kit even on basic trim level grade 2 and upwards features advanced safety tech as standard. There's 3 main specification levels for the Rio, consisting of 1, 2 and 3. There's also a limited run launch edition trim which sits above 3. Equipment levels are generous across the range and even the base 1 spec benefits from aircon, front electric windows, remote locking, electrically adjustable heated door mirrors, a 3.8-inch display screen, Bluetooth phone connectivity, automatic headlights and hill start assist. Upgrade to 2 spec and the kit list grows to include 15-inch alloy wheels, a leather-trimmed steering wheel and gear stick, electric folding mirrors, DAB radio, a 5.0-inch infotainment screen, rear parking sensors and a reversing camera, front and rear USB charging ports, cruise control with speed limiter, autonomous emergency braking and lane departure warning. High-spec 3 cars also get 16-inch alloy wheels, climate control, black faux leather upholstery, 7-inch touchscreen infotainment display with sat-nav, heated front seats and steering wheel, rain-sensing windscreen wipers, rear side and rear window privacy glass, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connectivity plus Bluetooth with voice recognition. Launch edition cars build on the extensive spec of the 3 car with 17-inch alloys, keyless entry and keyless ignition, stainless steel pedals, black and red faux leather upholstery and LED rear lights. Kia keeps it simple with the extras. As with all Kias, the Rio keeps the optional extras down to a minimum. Standard optional paint colors are charged at £250 per shade, increasing to £495 for premium paint. The Advanced Driving Assistance Pack, which includes autonomous emergency braking and lane departure warning, is standard from trim grades 2 and upwards and can also be fitted to grade 1 cars for £350. The South Korean manufacturer tends to include everything the customer will need within the standard equipment of the trim, the idea being it makes the buying process easier for customers. Only 3 stars from Euro NCAP crash test. Only rises to 5 with optional safety equipment when tested in 2011. The third-generation Rio was awarded a maximum 5-star rating and performed particularly well in adult and child protection, two areas this generation of model also performs well in. However, in standard form Euro NCAP only awarded it 3 stars, ramping up to 5 for Rios equipped with automatic emergency braking and lane departure technology. However, since some of the advanced safety features are not standard on base spec cars, expect these to score lower than their pricier counterparts. Good levels of room on offer in the front and back. Luggage capacity compares well against most rivals. Plenty of storage space within the cabin. The Rio's boot and interior space are both commendable, with enough room for 2 normal-sized adults to fit into the back. However, their overall levels of comfort depend largely on how tall those in the front are, so bear this in mind when you're sizing up the Rio. 3 young children will fit in the back seats without any problems, although note that there are only 2 ISOFIX points. Boot space is competitive, and although it can't match cars such as the Honda Jazz, the 325-litre luggage capacity is more than adequate. The space itself is a good, useful shape and can be increased by folding the standard 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seats down. Unfortunately, the seats don't fold completely flat, making loading long items tricky. There's plenty of storage space in and around the cabin with a good-sized glove box and 4 cup holders in the front. Annoyingly, though, the handbrake is placed too close to the central cup holders, meaning it's easy to end up pawing at the lid of your coffee instead of activating the handbrake.